Logan, from the end of last season, playing in Cape Cod for the summer and throughout your first off season, what'd you try and focus on? I guess specifically playing in Cape, what'd you learn about yourself going up against some of the top collegiate talent for a month?
Yeah, playing in the Cape, you face a ton of good arms. So I think coming back, experiencing that and coming back in the fall and early this spring, I think the game's kind of slowed down for me a little bit. And I just feel a lot more comfortable at the plate, laying off pitches that I should be laying off, which that was one of my problems last year with the strikeouts. And I just feel a lot more comfortable.
What are your full expectations coming back, having a full season to finish off your senior year here this year?
Yeah, well, obviously it's been tough for me, kind of split my last 2 seasons in half, and I talked to my dad last week, and I think we both agree just going out there for this team and completing a full season, regardless of, whether that's 80, 100 innings, whatever, just eating innings and contributing in a positive way and in a way that allows us to win, whatever game I'm pitching in. Because it's tough. Like, you feel like you contributed, but you really didn't contribute as much as you could have had you been healthy and maybe had, like I always said, had I taken care of my body more, but had I been in the training room more, had I done more in the weight room. So I feel like, I can finally sit back and say I've done everything I can and I'm ready for a full season.
I guess, is anything different for you being the Friday starter that you've always kind of either been Saturday or Sunday for a lot of your career? Do you go back and talk to Joey or anybody like that about whether there's anything different about being the Friday night guy?
The only difference in my opinion about pitching on Friday is you have to face the team's, the other team's Friday guy, which is probably the biggest challenge, to face the Mike Schwarens, the Adcocks of Michigan, just those guys that are as good, if not better than you are. And so, I talk to Joey on a regular basis anyway. I don't think he's going to give me any secret insight about how to win 36 games and throw 350 innings. But, yeah, those guys are obviously an outlet for me, and I've talked to Slagers and Efros and Halstead a lot. But just going out and competing like I usually have, it doesn't matter what day it is. It doesn't matter. And I've always said this. It doesn't matter if you're pitching Sunday afternoons, Tuesday nights, cleanup innings. You got to go out and give your best stuff regardless of the time and the place.
Jake, it sounds like you're going to be in the bullpen, maybe one of the back-end guys, closers. How do you feel about that kind of transition after starting the last
The back half of the game is kind of where I started my career out. That was a place I was comfortable in, and I'm happy to be back there. I'm not mad about being back there. I'm enjoying it. It's going to be a fun year. So yeah.
What changes in that kind of approach for you, mentally?
Oh, it's a mindset. You got to go in there. You got to know you're the man. You got to know that that Lamotas can give you the ball and you can shut it down and you can walk off that field with a W.
I don't know if challenge is the right word, but I guess what's the process of working with a new catching tandem this year? I know you had Demetrius last year, but what's the process of building that rapport and working with a couple new guys?
Well, both of them have been great, to be honest. Like Lamotas said, they're great receivers of the ball, and they're only getting better. So, and honestly, throwing is not a problem for either of them. They can compete with the Hartong and the Schwarber the past few years of throwing people out. So, really defensively, and it's not an issue. I think more with Coach Bunn and them is just getting on the same page, because we're gonna throw whatever Coach Bunn calls, but I think it's just a feel thing, and the next few weeks will really smooth things over because they just need to get game reps, as do we. But just as a unit between us, Coach Bunn, and the catchers, I think the next few weeks will provide a lot of help.
Craig, what's just your key for building on last year? Obviously, you were great for this offense. How do you kind of build on that?
I feel like this year I need to improve my we have this thing called quality at bats, and that's mostly just seeing more pitches, getting deeper into pitch counts, taking the walk or the HBP, the hit by pitch, pretty much just anything to help my teammates and help our team.
Kyle, you went through the Tommy John process. How much have you tried to help Sully as he's going through his?
Well, both Sully and Luke Stevenson, who Luke you probably you guys don't know a lot about. He's going to contribute this year. But both of those guys had a similar surgery, as far as I know. And yeah, I've been an outlet for Sully for sure. Obviously, it's a different surgery, but a lot of the Tommy John rehab is shoulder rehab. It's not. There's no special elbow exercises you do. It's a lot of shoulder stuff. So we were doing a lot of the same program, and I think he kind of latched on to me, and I still throw with him quite often. We just happen to be on similar schedules the past few weeks, but just talking pitching all the time, because I think he's past the rehab point. I do. I think it's kind of getting out of his head, and just getting some more game action is going to be important for him too. But you know, Sully knows that he can come to me for anything, and I can go to him too, because there'll be days where we're both feeling the same thing, and I think it's been great for us to just always have someone in a similar situation, regardless if that's injury or personal stuff. Just to have an outlet and have somebody to talk to has been great for both of us.
I guess for either Logan or Craig, what are the early challenges of whether it's heading to Tennessee or Fullerton, of just seeing consistent live pitching this early in the season? Obviously, maybe been outside a little bit, but going through the snow that's outside right now, just seeing pitching for the first time in game, what are some of those big challenges?
Well, we've been in Mellencamp to seeing live pitching, obviously facing our pitchers, which are really good arms, 3 days out of the week. So I don't think it'll be too bad or too big of a transition from that standpoint.
Yeah, and actually in Mellencamp's a little bit harder to see the ball, so it might even be easier once you get out on the field. So that might even help.
Yes, either for Jake or Craig. Coach Lamone said that the key really is going to be the sophomore class and how much you guys have grown in a year. Where do you guys feel like you're at right now?
I think we feel really comfortable. We did have a lot of playing time last year, at least me and Isaiah did. And Laren's extremely talented as well. Both those guys are extremely fast. We're going to use them a lot on the base paths. And I think it's just getting out there and just trying to feel comfortable,
Jake, I think at the end of last season, you talked about looking at this year and maybe having a little bit more consistency, maybe a little bit more command. Is there anything you've done to maybe mechanically work on that, or is there anything that you're doing to kind of channel that a little bit more consistently going into this year?
Yeah, me and Coach Bunn have worked pretty much all fall and all spring on being a more fluid and efficient pitcher, being able to repeat my mechanics, get in the zone constantly, and being able to be an efficient pitcher to where I can get that 3 outings in a series or that 2 outings in a series, pitch more than 1 inning. And we've worked a lot on that, a lot on just repeating my mechanics and going out there and pounding the zone.
Does a velocity jump come with just the repetition of that?
Yeah, the velocity has jumped up a little bit, and hopefully with working throughout the rest of the season, it goes up even more. So, yeah.